The force of gravity and art. The Not All That Falls Has Wings exhibition in Istanbul explores the unavoidable pull that brings us all back down to earth. Let's have a look.
All that falls keeps on falling. An apple from a tree, a dust particle in the air, all objects share the same fate, to give in to the inescapable and invisible force of gravity. Featured at the Art Gallery in Istanbul, the Not All That Falls Has Wings is a collective exhibition that explores the notion of gravity, or gravitas, as the Romans called the virtue of seriousness and dignity. Ranging from short films to sculptures and installations, works on display convey an uncomfortable message with eerie and dark atmospheres. They portray the act of falling as more than a curse affecting all of us. In the search for the balance between rising and falling, the artists explore the act of coming into contact with the surface. Not all that falls has wings reminds us that there is no escape from gravity. All is bound to fall, both physically and metaphorically.
To explore the exhibition taking place at Istanbul's Art Gallery, I'm joined by the Not All That Falls Has Wings curator, Selen Ansen. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Well, tell us about the inspiration behind this idea and the title, which is quite intriguing, Not All That Falls Has Wings.
Well, the inspirational idea was really to concentrate on the idea of fall and falling and collapsing, which are questions I have been researching and thinking about for several years. The idea of the title has come afterwards, really, when things were planned and when works arrived and after we worked with the artists. The title has been inspired to me by two writers. One is Samuel Beckett, who wrote a play entitled All That Fall. And the other inspirational author and title was Ingeborg Bachmann, who's a German writer, who has a poem. And in this poem, there's a verse that says, "Everyone who falls has wings." So my idea was to join them both and correspond with the idea of the exhibition, which is that one doesn't necessarily need to ascend to fall.
Right. Well, societies, habits, humans, all falls eventually. Do you see this as a failure, a curse, or more than that?
In fact, I don't see it as a curse. Well, it has been falling, has been historically considered, established as a curse, as the sign even of a failure, of a human failure. Civilization, our idea, conception of civilization is even grounded on the idea of ascension and rise, on the contrary of a fall. But my idea for this exhibition, along with the works and the artists, was more to conceive and take and propose the fall as a common ground, really, which we could conceive as a playground. So, as you pointed, a common ground because everything falls and keeps falling. Not only human beings, bodies, but also ideas, ideologies, memories, so things tangible and intangible as well. But also a playground, because for me it is important that we can play with these concepts that are historical and that we can own by including them to an experience as well.
Right. Well, this is a multidisciplinary exhibition. Tell us about some of the artists and some of the works being exhibited.
Yes, so we have a number of 9 artists. Some of them are collectives, or some of the works have been conceived by 2 artists, or the product of a collaboration. The exhibition starts with a massive or a big scale installation and landscape conceived and made by the English artist Philida Barlow. This landscape is constituted of 5 different sculptures. In the same floor, we have a video made by Uriel Orloff and Michael Karikis, who deals with the minds. And it's again a work that has been made in England. It's about the voicing of the call, the underground sounds.
Right.
Then we have films, a series of falling films by Jean Ader, which I'm very glad and grateful we could include these films to the exhibition. We also have an installation by Ryan Gander, an installation made of 100 of arrows, which transform the exhibition space. We also have 2 installations by a young Belgian collective named Void. And this collective works with immaterial phenomena such as meaning and sound. And to finish with, we have several sculptures by the German artist Anne Wenzel, who lives in Holland, a series of ceramic sculptures, and a film made by Cyprien Gaillard, the French artist Cyprien Gaillard, Prutigo Falls.
Right. Céline, to round up quickly, is there a common denominator in all of these artworks? Is there an emotion that you wish people would come away with when they've seen the exhibition?
Well, there is this obvious intended thread, I would say, or a common denominator, as you put it, which is fall, gravity, collapse.
Right.
But there is also maybe a common denominator, several, that I have not intended, and that have been highlighted by the artists sometimes, or by the viewers and the audience. One of them is the idea of memory, really, and memory and history. The other is the idea of landscape, and how landscape is not only linked to nature, but we also have mindscapes and urbanscapes and soundscapes. And so the idea that we construct space with experience. And to answer your question, no, I don't have, I didn't have the idea of an emotion I wanted to provoke in the viewer. But I sincerely hope, and that's more hope, that the viewers can really appropriate themselves this notion and tie it with their own experience and really play with it.
Well, Céline Anson, thank you very much for joining us on Showcase.
Thank you.